Gentlemen, let's clear up one of the biggest lies in dating. You've probably heard this advice before. Ignore her and she'll come running back. That if you go silent, she'll suddenly recognize your value and start blowing up your phone with messages. That's pure fiction. If she's not chasing you, even after you've pulled away, it's because she never saw you as a prize to begin with. And here's the hard truth that most men refuse to accept. A high-value man doesn't have to play games to get a woman's attention. A woman who truly desires you won't need manipulation to invest in you. She'll naturally put in effort. But if she's distant, not texting, or acting indifferent, then your silence won't create mystery. It just confirms you were never a priority in the first place. See, most men believe that pulling away will trigger attraction, that she'll start missing you, fearing that she's losing something valuable. But this only works under one condition. She has to already see you as high value. If she doesn't, your absence isn't a power move. It's an easy excuse for her to move on. And let's be honest, the men who get chased aren't the ones trying to force a reaction from women. They're the ones who command respect simply by being who they are. So if you've been ghosting a woman, expecting her to panic and chase you, but she's not, then you need to ask yourself, did I ever have her interest to begin with? Because the real problem isn't her reaction, it's your mindset. In this video, we're breaking down exactly why ignoring her doesn't work and what actually does. Stay locked in, because this might just change the way you approach relationships forever. Before we start, if you're enjoying this content and want more straight-up, no BS advice, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you know someone who's still stuck in the illusion that playing hard to get works, do him a favor. Share this video with him. Now, let's get into it. 1. She never wanted you that much. If a woman truly desires you, do you really think you need to play mind games to make her chase you? Here's the brutal truth. If she's not reaching out, even after you've pulled away, it's not because you didn't ignore her correctly. It's because she never saw you as a man worth chasing in the first place. And that's where most men fail. They assume that pulling away, going silent, or acting distant will make a woman realize what she's losing. But that only works under one condition. She already saw you as valuable before you left. If she never invested emotionally, your silence doesn't create mystery. It just confirms that you were never a priority. Most men think ignoring a woman will automatically trigger attraction. The truth? That only works on women who already wanted you. If she never saw you as someone she truly desired, your absence won't create longing. It will just make it easier for her to move on. A woman who genuinely likes a man doesn't need to be manipulated into chasing him. She will naturally invest in him, make an effort, and prioritize him. But when she sees a man as just another option, she won't care if he stops texting or disappears. This is why so many men fail. They believe women are sitting around, waiting to be ignored so they can suddenly realize a man's worth. But that's not how attraction works. Women don't chase men they never truly wanted. If she was already losing interest or never had strong feelings for you, then your silence won't change anything. If anything, it just confirms that she was right not to prioritize you. Let's put this into perspective. A guy meets a woman. They exchange numbers. He starts texting her. She responds, but her messages lack enthusiasm. She takes hours, sometimes days, to reply. She rarely initiates conversations. And whenever he tries to set up a date, she always seems busy. He notices this, so he decides to ignore her, expecting that she'll panic and start chasing him. But what happens? Nothing. She never reaches out. A few weeks later, he sees her with another man. Why? Because she was never truly interested in him. His absence didn't create longing. It just made it easier for her to move on, guilt-free. If a woman truly wants you, she will show it, whether you text her every day or disappear for a while. If she's not chasing you, it's not because you executed the ignoring strategy incorrectly. It's because she never saw you as the man she truly wanted in the first place. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever ignored a woman hoping she'd chase you, only to realize she didn't care at all? Or have you experienced the opposite, where a woman became more interested when you pulled away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experiences. And if you found this valuable, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. 2. Ignoring only works on emotionally invested women. You might think that ignoring a woman is a powerful move, that going silent will make her realize she wants you. But here's the truth. Ignoring only works if she was already emotionally invested in you. If she wasn't, your silence doesn't create attraction. It just gives her an easy excuse to forget you. For a woman to chase after you when you ignore her, she has to feel like she's losing something valuable. That only happens if she already had strong feelings for you. If she was truly into you, then yes, pulling away might trigger her fear of losing you. But if she was never emotionally attached, she won't feel the need to chase you. She'll simply move on, like you never existed. A lot of men think going silent will create attraction. They assume that by disappearing, she'll suddenly realize she misses them and start chasing. But that's not how attraction works. Attraction isn't built on absence. It's built on presence. It's built on how she felt when she was around you. If those feelings were never strong in the first place, your absence won't make a difference. This is why some women chase after men who ignore them, while others don't even notice when a guy disappears. It all comes down to emotional investment. If a woman was already attached, she will feel your absence. But if she was never really interested, she'll see your silence as nothing more than a quiet exit from her life. Let's break this down with an example. Scenario 1. A man starts dating a woman, and things seem to be going well. They talk often, she responds quickly, and she seems excited to see him. But over time, he becomes too available, and she starts losing interest. She replies slower. She cancels plans. She becomes more distant. He notices this and decides to ignore her. A few days pass, and suddenly she's texting again. She asks why he hasn't been reaching out and even tries to make plans. Why? Because she was already emotionally invested. His silence created uncertainty, making her fear losing him. Now let's flip the situation. Scenario 2. A man meets a woman who was never really interested. She responded to his messages, but only out of politeness. She never initiated, never showed enthusiasm, and always seemed busy. He decides to ignore her, thinking she'll start missing him. Instead, she never texts again. She doesn't even notice he's gone. That's the difference. If she never had strong feelings for you, ignoring her won't make her suddenly care. The only women who chase after being ignored are the ones who were already invested. If she's not chasing, it means she never was. If you want a woman to chase you, disappearing is not the answer. The real key is making her feel something before you even consider pulling away. Have you ever ignored a woman, expecting her to chase you, only to realize she didn't care at all? Or have you had a woman suddenly invest more when you pulled back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experience. And if you found this valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. 3. You are never the prize. You think ignoring a woman will make her value you more. Wrong. A woman will only chase a man she already sees as the prize. If she's not chasing you, it's not because your strategy failed. It's because, in her eyes, you were never the prize to begin with. That's a reality most men don't want to accept. When a woman truly values a man, she doesn't need to be manipulated into realizing his worth. She naturally wants to be around him. She makes an effort. She initiates. She finds ways to keep him in her life. The men who get chased don't play games. They don't rely on tactics to create attraction. They command respect and admiration simply by being who they are. Here's the problem. Most men pedestalize women. They believe that showing interest, being kind, and treating her well should make her reciprocate. They assume that by being available and emotionally present, she'll recognize their value. But attraction doesn't work that way. Women don't chase men just because they're nice. They chase men who make them feel something: excitement, admiration, desire. If she doesn't see you as valuable, no amount of ignoring will change that. And that's the mistake many men make. They rely on tactics instead of self-improvement. They think pulling away will shift the power dynamic in their favor. But power and attraction don't come from playing games. They come from your mindset. If you truly saw yourself as the prize, you wouldn't need to test a woman's interest. You would already know your worth. Men who naturally get chased are those who live with confidence, purpose, and ambition. They don't make women the center of their world. They focus on their own growth, their own success, and their own fulfillment. That energy is what makes them attractive. Women are drawn to men who don't need validation or attention to feel complete. So if you had to resort to ignoring a woman just to see if she would chase you, you've already lost. Because high-value men Don't waste time wondering if a woman sees their worth. They already know it. If she's not chasing you, the question isn't, why isn't she chasing me? It's, why did I ever think I had to make her? The moment you start thinking that way, you stop playing games and start becoming the kind of man women naturally gravitate toward. Now, let's be real. Have you ever ignored a woman, expecting her to chase you, only to realize she didn't care at all? Or maybe you've seen the opposite, where a woman became more invested when you pulled back. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experiences. And if you found this valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. 4. Another man already has her attention. You think that by ignoring her, she'll suddenly realize she's losing something valuable and come chasing after you. Think again. If she's not chasing you, chances are another man already has her attention. And not just any man, someone she sees as more exciting, more valuable, or simply a better match for what she wants. Women don't sit around feeling lost when one guy pulls away. If she was truly into you, she wouldn't have put herself in a position to lose you in the first place. But if she's not chasing, it means she already had someone else in her sights. Maybe it's a guy she was talking to before she met you. Maybe it's someone who stepped in the moment you stepped out. Either way, she's not dwelling on your absence. She's too busy enjoying the attention she's getting elsewhere. This is where a lot of men make a mistake. They assume that their absence will make her realize what she's missing. But what if to her, you were just one of many options? Most men don't want to admit it, but if she truly had strong feelings for you, she wouldn't need to be reminded of your value by your silence. She would have already felt it. Attractive women don't struggle to find male attention. Whether she's online, at work, or just living her life, men are constantly trying to get her attention. And if she has options, she's going to gravitate toward the one that excites her the most. If that's not you, ignoring her won't change a thing. Some men think that disappearing will make her see them as more valuable. But if she already had her eyes on someone else, your silence just makes it easier for her to move on. A woman who truly sees a man as special will not put herself in a position to lose him. She won't take his presence for granted. She won't risk letting another woman take her spot. But a woman who was only half interested, she'll see your absence as an opportunity to explore other connections. If she's not chasing you, it's because she doesn't feel like she has to. And chances are, another man is already giving her the validation and excitement she craves. Most men get frustrated by this because they don't understand one key thing. If she was truly attached to you, another man wouldn't be able to take her attention so easily. But if she lost interest the moment you stopped putting in effort, it means she was never really yours to begin with. If a woman genuinely wants you, she will make sure she doesn't lose you. She won't test you. She won't wait for you to ignore her just to decide how she feels. She'll already know. So if she's not chasing you, that tells you everything you need to know. Because when a woman truly values a man, she doesn't risk losing him to someone else. Now, let's be honest. Have you ever ignored a woman thinking she'd chase you, only to realize she didn't care at all? Or have you had the opposite experience, where pulling away made her invest more? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experiences. And if you found this valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear the 5. You made yourself too replaceable. If she's not chasing you, it's not because she's playing hard to get. It's because your absence doesn't matter to her. And if she doesn't feel your absence, it's because you never stood out enough in the first place. A woman only chases a man when she feels he brings something unique and irreplaceable to her life. If she sees you as just another guy, she won't care whether you're there or not. Many men believe that being nice, available, and doing everything she likes will make them special. But the truth is, that does the opposite. When a woman sees that you're too easy to please, too predictable, or just like every other guy, she doesn't feel any urgency to keep you. Why? Because she knows she can find the same qualities in another man without much effort. Think about it. If she feels like she can replace you any time, what motivation does she have to chase you? Women chase men who have something rare. Maybe it's the way they carry themselves, their confidence, ambition, or ability to lead. It's never just about being a good guy. It's about being the guy. Now, here's where most men fail. They focus too much on what the woman wants and not enough on what makes them unique. They adjust their personality to fit her expectations. They agree with everything she says. They constantly try to impress her. And what happens? She loses interest because she doesn't see any depth, any mystery, or any real sense of individuality. Let's say you meet a woman and start texting her every day. You shower her with compliments. You're always available whenever she wants to meet. In your mind, you're showing effort. But in her mind, she's already figured you out. There's no challenge, no excitement. Nothing about you stands out from the other men doing the same thing. So when you suddenly pull away, she doesn't feel any loss, because there was never anything unique to hold on to. The men who get chased aren't the ones trying to be everything a woman wants. They are the ones who have their own lives, their own ambitions, and their own sense of self. A woman sees them as valuable because they bring something different, and that difference makes them irreplaceable. So if she's not chasing you, ask yourself, were you ever truly irreplaceable? Or were you just another guy she knew she could replace at any time? Now, let's be honest. Have you ever tried to impress a woman, only to realize she lost interest faster? Or have you seen a woman invest more when you stopped trying so hard? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experiences. And if you found this valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. 6. She sees your silence as weakness, not strength. You thought ignoring her would make her value you more. You assumed that by pulling away, she'd feel your absence and come running back. But what really happened? She shrugged, moved on, and maybe even laughed at your attempt. Because in her eyes, your silence isn't power, it's weakness. A lot of men believe ignoring a woman makes them look dominant. They think it shows confidence, self-respect, and high status. But here's the hard truth. If she never saw you as a prize in the first place, your silence won't change that. She's not seeing a strong, independent man. She's seeing a guy who ran out of options and resorted to mind games. Women respect men who lead, who own their presence, and who don't rely on disappearing acts to prove their worth. If you truly had value, you wouldn't need to prove it through silence. She would have already recognized it when you were around. And if she didn't, then your absence is just confirmation that she was never that interested to begin with. Confidence doesn't come from ignoring women. It comes from not needing to think about them so much in the first place. A man who is truly confident isn't pulling away just to see if she notices. He's too focused on his mission, growth, and ambition. The moment your strategy revolves around her reaction, you've already lost. For some women, your silence isn't attractive. It's a sign that you weren't a challenge to begin with. Strong women don't chase weak men. And if the only way you feel powerful is by ignoring her, then you were never leading in the first place. Picture a man at the top of his game, a successful entrepreneur, an elite athlete, or a leader in his field. Do you think he's sitting around waiting for a woman to text him back? Do you think he's checking his phone every 5 minutes, hoping she finally realizes his worth? Absolutely not. He's too busy building a life that women want to be a part of. Meanwhile, the average guy, who has nothing going on, is using silence as a last-ditch attempt to feel important. That's the difference. So here's your reality check. If a woman isn't chasing you, ignoring her won't magically flip a switch in her brain. It won't create attraction where there was none. The only way to make a woman regret losing you is by being the kind of man she never wanted to lose in the first place. And that has nothing to do with silence. It has everything to do with your value. Now, let's be honest. Have you ever ignored a woman thinking she'd chase you, only to realize she didn't care at all? Or have you seen a woman invest more when you stopped focusing on her and started focusing on yourself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experiences. And if you found this valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. 7. You focused on her, not on yourself. You think that giving her all your attention, whether through constant messaging or calculated silence, will make her value you. But here's the brutal truth. A woman will never chase a man who makes her the center of his world. The moment she senses that your entire focus is on her, she realizes you're not the kind of man who leads. And that's when she loses interest. Attraction doesn't grow when a man obsesses over whether she notices him. It grows when he's so laser-focused on his mission, his goals, and his personal growth that she wants to be a part of it. The men who struggle with women, they're the ones constantly thinking about her, where she is, what she's doing, and whether she'll come back. Meanwhile, the men women can't resist are out there making things happen, not sitting around, waiting for a response. A lot of guys believe that ignoring a woman will create desire. But here's the reality. She's only going to chase if she sees you as someone she doesn't want to lose. And that has nothing to do with playing games. It has everything to do with how you carry yourself in everyday life. Most men confuse playing hard to get with actually being hard to get. A man who plays hard to get is still making his decisions based on her. A man who is hard to get doesn't even think in those terms. His life is so full, his goals are so consuming, that women naturally sense his value. They chase him not because he manipulated them into feeling that way, but because they feel that being with him is a privilege. Instead of playing these cheap dating strategies, the real move is to build a life so fulfilling that she feels your absence, not because you ignored her, but because your presence was something rare. The second a man starts valuing his time, his energy, and his self-respect more than the outcome with one woman, he steps into a different category. This is where women notice, respect, and naturally want to chase. That's the difference between the men women forget and the men they can't stop thinking about. The ones who don't need tactics, because their value speaks for itself. Now, let's be honest. Have you ever put a woman at the center of your world, only to realize she lost interest faster? Or have you experienced the opposite, where a woman invested more in you when you focused on yourself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your experiences. And if you found this valuable, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Let's get straight to it. A woman will never chase a man she doesn't see as worth chasing. That's the reality most men don't want to accept. If she's not chasing you, it's because in her mind, losing you isn't a real loss. And that means you were never truly the prize to begin with. Too many men waste time playing games, thinking that ignoring her, delaying responses, or acting disinterested will make her chase them. They believe that if they disappear, she'll suddenly realize how valuable they are and come running back. But here's the truth. Women don't chase absence. They chase value. And value isn't created by silence. It's built by who you are, how you live your life, and what you bring to the table. If she never saw you as valuable, your silence doesn't create mystery. It just confirms that she never cared to begin with. And here's the most brutal truth of all. If you even have to think about making her chase you, you've already lost. The men women can't resist aren't strategizing how to get attention. They are too focused on their purpose, their ambition, and their own self-mastery. And when you're operating on that level, women don't just chase, they fight to be in your life. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And now, ask yourself this. If you disappeared today, would she notice, or would she replace you without hesitation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.